Hello, everyone. Today's lesson is about outsourcing. It's a intermediate to advanced level reading um, class about outsourcing. So, looking forward to working with people and getting this set up. Hi, Alicia. How are you?
Hi, Holly. Great, thanks. You?
Very good. I like your rabbit. Is that your pet?
Yes, she's my pet.
Uh-huh.
It is Lilo.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in this moment, she stay in Italy,
Uh-huh.
and I'm in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. So you're in San Francisco right now? Are
Yes,
you traveling or are you
no, in vacation.
vacation? Okay. You hopped into a verbling class on vacation. That's great.
Yeah, but I stay here for 2 months. So
Okay.
today I have to improve my English. It's
Uh-huh.
very important.
Okay. So are you going to a language school or are you staying with friends?
No, 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 no. I am here with my fiancé.
Uh-huh.
Usually I practice English with Verbling, but I'm thinking about to join at a school here
Uh-huh. Okay.
to socialize, not only for English but to socialize. I think it's
Mhm.
important
Yeah, to meet
to
some
meet
people and stuff.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. That's great. And hello, Victor. How are you?
Hi, Holly. I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Now it's 10 o'clock now in the Ukraine, right?
Yes, you're right.
Oh, I'm getting to be good. Yay. Hey, Mehmet, how are you?
Hello, everything's good. How about you?
Very good. Now in Turkey, is it 9 o'clock in Turkey right now, or is it 11
No.
o'clock?
Same Ukraine, 10 o'clock.
It's 10. Oh, same as the Ukraine. Okay. Now I hadn't gotten Turkey figured out yet, so Um, all right, and then of course for Alicia, since she's in San Francisco right now, it's noon. So
Yeah. Here are 12 o'clock.
yeah, I'm in Idaho, and where it's 1 o'clock now,
Ah, okay.
and so excellent.
We have lunch together.
Yeah, exactly. I'll have lunch in 2 hours. I think I had a big breakfast because I knew I would be teaching straight through. So anyway, all right. So today's topic is a business English topic on outsourcing. So so just because it's business English, I'd like to know from each of you guys what you do. I know if I remember right, Victor, you are is it a programmer?
Yes.
Okay. And Mayma, also do something with computers as well, right?
No, I am a account manager in a company,
Oh,
but
okay. I got you confused with somebody else. Okay.
but no problem. But I want to be foreign trade manager in my company.
Okay. I do remember that. And you are very lucky that I remembered your country. So
Yes,
a lot of
yes,
people,
yes. You remembered, yes.
yeah, a lot of people don't I get that one wrong. So, and Elisa, when you're not traveling to study English, what are you doing? What do you do?
This is a beautiful question because I was an a sales and account.
Uh-huh.
Then I design, I drive a laptop and I design website. And
Hmm.
now I'm only a student.
Okay. So you've had several types of careers,
Yeah.
and what is your plan for the future?
This is another big question. My proposal is to move here
Hmm.
and take a visa student card, and then find like an internship in interior design or something else.
Oh, okay. So you would like to, is San Francisco a good place, or wouldn't that be better in New York or Los Angeles?
I don't know, but my fiancé have a job here, so
Uh-huh.
I have to study here. I think it's a good place anyway to reinvent it myself.
Mm-hmm.
In this moment, I don't have a really clear idea.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well,
Sorry.
that's exciting though for you. And
Yeah.
if if you have your fiance, he's supporting you to do that. So that's great. Every once in a while I think about reinventing myself, and then I think, no, I like English, and I have thought about going beyond training, and I just haven't ever done it. So it takes you need to be very brave to reinvent yourself. So
I think it's
yeah,
you have to have a lucky, not only brave.
yeah, to have some luck, yes,
Mm.
yeah, that's very true. So. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do this will be more or less a vocabulary and article discussion. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And does everybody see the the PDF on the board,
Yes.
guys?
Can I ask you, please, if it's possible, zoom in a
Yep,
little bit?
absolutely. I will do that in just a moment. Um, okay. This is not the right thing. Bear with me a moment. I'm going to stop this. I was looking at the wrong one. Okay. Okay. Bear with me a moment.
You have the tools. I see the tools
Uh-huh.
here. There is um, a print, then a letter, and
Okay.
then on the right, I think it's that the tool plus and
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
okay, great. Thank you a lot.
Oh, you're welcome.
Because I have glasses.
This is a for me this is a new computer and a new setup, so I'm still learning. I usually have external monitors, external monitors that I use. Okay, so the first question I have for you guys, Victor, why don't we start with you? What is outsourcing?
Uh, Outsourcing. I know what is what is outsourcing.
Uh-huh.
For example, in my case, in my company, sometimes we don't have resources. I mean, people
Uh-huh.
who can do some job. For
Mm-hmm.
example, create some art or develop some feature, and
Mm-hmm.
our company looking for co-workers, looking for people who can develop, who can create art, for example, or some job. And I I have experience as I worked as I work for company
Uh-huh.
uh, who ordered me mm, some task, and
Mm-hmm.
I did it once time, and and as conclusion, outsourcing when you uh, when you order some job
Uh-huh.
out of your company.
Okay. Yeah, so ordering when you have a task that needs to be done that that people in your company do not do, but somebody outside the company does.
Yes.
Okay. Mehmet, can you think of some examples of services that companies outsource?
I think China is most big outsourcing region,
Mm-hmm.
country.
Yeah.
Big electronic companies outsourcing their products from the Chinese company.
Mm-hmm.
Example, technology, plastic,
Uh-huh.
everything. I think, especially Western companies. I think
Okay, so production.
production. Yes, good
Production
production.
factory, a good production of goods like technology and 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 stuff like that. Okay. Alicia, can you think of another example?
Mm, I imagine, for example, the customer service
Okay, customer service.
are in outsourcing.
Mm-hmm.
For example, made phone provider or a television provider have outsourcing customer service
Mm-hmm.
because they want to minimize the human resource and the cost of the people,
Mm-hmm.
and and also they don't want to get a problem with the person, with
Okay.
her customer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what are there specific countries that do a lot of do a lot of customer service for outsourcing?
I know, for example, um, sometimes I bought a fly with
Mm-hmm.
a company, and for example, in a TripAdvisor, in Kayak or Skyscanner, you can choose a different fly and with online company.
Uh-huh.
And they have a customer service in Spain or in a different country. I know,
Uh-huh.
for example, in India, I think it's the topics of your lesson. There
Mm-hmm.
are many customer service or
Mm-hmm.
many software engineering that
Mm-hmm.
for a USA company.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly right. So India is one. Another one is the Philippines.
Okay.
And another country that has been, at least in the past, I don't know if it still is, but at one time was a very top outsourcer, especially for customer service, was Ireland.
Ireland.
But
I lived in Ireland.
yeah,
Yes, in
yeah,
Dublin
okay,
before I came here.
uh-huh,
And it is possible. And now, as you know, Ireland have many company that came from other country because they have a less taxes, a fiscal. I don't know what is the name. They have short taxes, could be.
hmm yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Well, yeah, because they've made it really easy for foreign companies to come into
Yeah.
because they've given them tax breaks.
And I think another reasons is that in this place the people, for example, in India and Ireland, the mother language is they don't use the mother language, they use English,
Yeah.
and it's easy for a customer service.
Yeah. I mean, of the four countries that are on the board, the only one that doesn't actually do most of their education in English is China. So the other ones all do use English. So
I never seen China, so I can speak about.
yeah. So Adrian, can you think of any examples of outsourcing?
Um, Examples of outsourcing
Yeah.
in the software field.
Uh-huh.
Yes, in the software fields use this kind of job.
Okay.
Yes, maybe.
Okay. And I think that we've come up with three of them: the production of goods, factories, especially in China, customer service in the India and Philippines and Ireland, software. Is that normally in India?
Yes.
Yeah. And then the two others that I can think of that is actually local outsourcing is human resources, and the other one is accounting. Some companies will outsource these two things because they want to concentrate on their on their main field, and so these are not international outsourcing, but it's uh, uh, what is it? What am I saying? Not international. It's local outsourcing, but it's still outsourcing. So.
And can I add another service are delivery service and logistic.
Yes. Okay, that's another one. Is that a local or is it a local outsourcing or international? Alicia, is it local or international?
It depends.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, for example, Amazon
Mm-hmm.
some delivery service in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
It's an international company,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that there are a little big, a little farm or company that
Mm-hmm.
they give out the delivery and the logistic because it's very expensive as
Mm-hmm.
inside the company this kind of service if
Mm-hmm.
if you are not big.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's go on. What we're going to do is we're going to look at some specific vocabulary words and their definitions, and we're going to match them, and then we will read an article together. So the words I want to read the left-hand column, and then we'll have you guys read the right-hand column. So the words are resemble, inflation, overheads, essential, genetic makeup, and staff turnover. Okay. And Adrian, could you read A up here?
Uh, uh, a general continuous increase in price
In prices.
in prices.
Prices. Okay,
Yes.
so what would that be?
Uh, how often employees leave a company
No,
and
no, not B, but what is the answer for A?
yes, inflation.
Inflation. Okay.
Yes.
Inflation. Okay. And Andre, welcome.
Hi, teacher. Glad to see you again.
Yeah, so you got home safe and sound. Um,
Yes, I'm get home safely.
Good.
Fortunately.
Okay. Good. So could you read B?
How often employees leave a company and are replaced by new people?
Okay, so which one is that?
It's much to staff turnover.
Staff turnover. Okay. Staff turnover. Okay. Um, just one thing about staff turnover, not staff turnover, the word turnover. Does anybody know another meaning for the word turnover?
Mm,
No.
Anyone?
turn-
The word turnover has, Victor, do you have any idea what it would be? Another meaning?
Turn back.
No. Mehmet, no one knows? Okay. So there's actually two other meanings for the word turnover in English. One is pastry. So a turnover, it's very good.
Okay.
Okay. Another one is it's a financial term, and it means net sales in American English. So in British English, it means turnover.
Okay.
So when, and it's one thing, it's one of those words that it's important that people understand that there's a big difference in meaning between American English and British English. Because in American English, we think of it as either staff turnover or a pastry. Where in British English, when you talk about the company's finances, they talk about turnover. So our company had a turnover of $3 million, for example. Okay, so that is one thing to consider. Staff turnover has to do with companies leaving and being replaced. When you think about a company that has, if a company has a high turnover, and that is positive. It's a very good thing in British English. If it's a high staff turnover, though, that is negative. Because that means the company is not very good. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So, the first time when I first went to Finland, I had the company that I was at I think it was a telephone company in the telecom industry. I asked them to introduce themselves, and then I said, please tell me about your company. And they said to me, well, we have a very high turnover. And I said, and that's a good thing, because in American English, we only know staff turnover. So that's just one thing when you're talking to Americans versus British. So, okay, let's go on.
It would be, sorry, teacher.
Yeah.
It would be better if she said, we have a pastry, high pastry.
A high pastry, yeah. We have very good pastries, so that's another meaning of turnover. So Americans who are not familiar with business might hear we have a high turnover, and they might think, oh, you sell pastries. You're a bakery company. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah. So okay, let's go to C. Alicia, could you read C?
C, the regular general cost of running a business, e.g., rent, heating, electricity, is overheads.
Overheads, exactly. C. Okay. And Mehmet.
Yes.
Could you read D?
Of course, the way in which people are composed according to their genes. I think 5, genetic makeup.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And is Victor still here? I think he was jumping in and out because of his internet. Looks like he's gone right now. Okay. E, to look like or be like. Does anybody know what that one would be?
I think to look like or be like is genetic makeup.
Nope.
No?
It's,
Resemble?
It is resemble, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What is mean e.g. different?
It is, I think it's in Latin, and usually if we would either say e.g. or we would say for example.
Ah, okay.
So that's what we would, like if I were reading this, I'd go the regular general costs of running a business, for example, rent, heating, or electricity.
Okay. So when I write something and I want to do an example, I write e.g.
You can do that. And if you have maybe alternative words, maybe you say you want to use use an example with alternative words, you would that would be i.e. You've seen this before when you're writing, and you'll see this in writing a lot actually, i.e.
Okay.
So okay, thank you for asking. And then the last one is essential, means very important. Okay. So, okay, let's go on. We're going to go ahead and read this. We're going to try to answer the following questions. Number one, what is the main reason why some companies want to close down their operations in India? Outsourcing operations in India. Number two, what is reverse outsourcing? Number three, what is the cause of the rising strength of India's currency? Number four, how do Mindtree Consulting intend to reduce their costs? Number five, why is the Indian outsourcing industry still growing despite wage increases? Number six, in which sector is there a sharp growth in wages? Number seven, in which sector are Indian wages much lower than in the West? Number eight, which human resource problem do Indian call center operations have to deal with? Number nine, what outside threat is the Indian outsourcing industry facing? And finally, what characteristic of Indian people gives the Indian outsourcing industry a competitive advantage, according to the chief executive of Mindtree's IT services? So when we read the article, we will look for these answers, okay? If you remember these. Are there any words in here in these questions that you do not know? Anyone? Andre, are you fine?
Reverse outsourcing, it means the negative of outsourcing.
Yeah, the article will explain it. What reverse outsourcing? It basically means that it's they're taking the outsourcing from India and taking them back to the U.S. or back to England or something like that.
Yeah.
Andre, are you fine?
I'm fine, but I'm a little confused about number 8.1. Which human resource problem do Indian call center operation have to deal with?
Okay.
What could you explain in the simple way?
Yeah. Indian call center operations have a specific problem that they have to deal with in regards to their employees. So what problem is that? Does that make sense?
Yes, I think so. Maybe it would be clear. It will be clearly after we read the article.
Yeah, hopefully it will be. Yeah, Mehmet, are you okay with these words?
Yes, okay. I think no problem.
Perfect. Okay, Adrian.
Maybe maybe the question 9. I don't
Okay.
understand.
So on this one is the Indian outsource industry is facing a problem, and it's outside of their industry. It might be a government problem, or it might be a economic problem. So an outside threat is a threat from outside their industry.
Okay. Outside dread is the meaning is the dread
Yeah.
is
As threat would be a situation that would make their industry suffer. So,
uh,
for example, you guys have heard economically when the United States coughs financially, has a small financial problem, the rest of the world has a big financial problem, right?
okay.
It's the
Okay.
same thing.
Yes.
The United States economy is a threat to the rest of the world. so,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You got it?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, so wages in the Indian IT sector are starting to resemble those in the West. Some companies are bringing the jobs back home. So that's why there's mixed signals for outsourcing. Some people are saying the outsourcing is going really well in India. Some are saying no, it's not going well. So let's go ahead and read through this, and I'm making this as big as possible. There, does that work better?
Yes, okay.
Okay, excellent. Adrian, could you read the first paragraph?
There have been confusing messages in recent weeks which suggest that the outsourcing boom in India has reached a peak and that the financial benefit of outsourcing work to the country might be coming to an end.
Okay, so remember everyone to, with words like this where there's an S at the end, to not swallow the ending. So messages.
Messages.
And
Yes.
also financial. Everybody, financial. And then,
Finan-
yeah,
Financial.
yes, and
Financial.
may be coming. May be coming. Okay, and are there any words in here? Is everybody clear?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Yes.
let's go on. Alicia, could you read this paragraph?
Yes. The search engine company like.com recently announced it was closing its Indian engineering site and transferring jobs back to the USA because wages in Bangalore had simply become too high. The company's chief executive, Mr. Shan, said, Bangalore wages have been growing like crazy. Just before the announcement, one of his Bangalore engineers could earn 75% of the USA salary. 2 years earlier, the same engineer had been earning 20% of American salary.
Okay, so only a 25% difference. so, uh,
20%, okay.
yeah. So one of the things also, Alicia, that you did that Adrian did as well, is you swallowed some S's at the end. Let's see if I can find it. Wages, basic wages.
Wages.
Yeah. So try not to swallow the ending when there's when there's an S at the end.
Wages.
Wages, and there was another one too, but that's okay. Everybody seems to do it. So
Sorry, sometimes I hate that.
exactly, you swallow it, you eat it at the end. You don't, and that's it's pretty particular of certain people. So okay, Andre, could you read this one?
In Britain, the Indian government estimates that there are 5,000 jobs that have been created by reverse outsourcing or inward investment from India. All are in e-commerce and software. One comedian made a joke about middle-class Indians from Bombay dialing a call center in Scotland to book a train ticket to Delhi and complaining that they can't understand the Scottish accent. When will this joke become reality?
Okay. Does everybody understand this?
Mm.
I
I don't think so, since I've been concentrated on my pronunciation.
Yeah, I knew that's one thing. When you read out loud, you're not understanding. But everybody else, Alicia, did you get this joke? So basically, it says one comedian made a joke about middle-class Indians from Bombay dialing a call center in Scotland to book a train ticket to Delhi and complaining that they cannot understand the Scottish accent. Because nowadays, Americans and British and Irish and Australians call a call center for a local issue, and they end up getting an Indian call center rep with a very strong Indian accent. And then many of the Americans might say, I want to talk to an American. Or, I don't like, they get very concerned when they hear this foreign accent. So the joke is that the Indians will start complaining that they don't understand the Scottish accent. So it's actually quite funny. So do you guys understand that?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. Elisa, Adrian, Mehmet?
yeah,
Yes,
I understand.
Okay. Okay.
Scotland accent and Ireland accent are very, very strange and difficult.
Yep, they are, especially, and the Americans have a hard time with Irish and Scottish very much so. So okay, Mehmet, could you read this paragraph?
yes, of course. Wage inflation, together with the rising strength of the Indian rupee caused by an economic growth rate of 9%, is certainly changing the way that Indian IT companies think about doing business and how to present their services. It's no longer possible to only provide a service to Western clients that is simply cheaper. According to Krishna Kumar Natarajan, the president of the IT services for Mindtree Consulting, an international IT consulting company headquartered in Bangalore, quality and expertise have become essential now. A key challenge is that costs keep going up, he said. He said that one solution
Okay, bear with me a moment.
okay, was to reduce overheads by concentrating people and operations, something that is easier for larger companies.
All right, thank you. All right,
So,
yes, is there a question?
Hmm. So, teacher, could you give us a link for that article?
Yes, you know what? It looks like I forgot to add it, so I will do that now. Yeah. Adrian, could you read the next paragraph while I add the link?
Yes. Industry bodies are centrally confident about the future, despite rising salaries and property costs. The National Association of Software and Service Company, NASCOM reported recently that the industry grew by 30.7% in the last financial year, and that revenues
Revenues, yeah.
revenues increased to just under 40 billion. I don't know. How,
$40 billion. I'm
$40 billion. Yeah.
yeah, $40 billion. Yes. Yeah. Okay. And Alicia, could you read the next one?
Okay, but I can see the next one.
Oh,
Sorry.
I need to move it down. Sorry.
Wait.
I'm adding the link, and so I'm trying to do two things at once. So, okay.
So, how is the industry managing this? Partly, it is the result of remaining price competitive, despite the headlines and the talk of rising salaries. Wages here remain considerably lower, especially for the entry-level employees, than in the USA. In India, starting salaries in the IT industry begin at about $10,000, about one-sixth of the equivalent salary in the USA.
Okay, thank you. And Andre, could you read the next paragraph?
In addition, the sharp growth in Indian wage has been
Wages?
Indian wages has been mostly limited to the IT sector. In other areas, such as call center operations, wages are still considerably lower than in the West. One challenge that companies are having to deal with in these areas, however, is the high staff turnover. And another threat India faces is from international competition, mainly from its neighbor and strategic and economic rival,
Rival.
China, rival China, but also from new outsourcing centers such as Russia and Dubai and even Egypt.
Okay. And Mehmet.
Name it.
Mehmet, are you there?
Name it.
Hello, can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Natarajan and others remain confident that India will be able to deal with such challenges. He even said that there may be something in the genetic makeup of his country's citizens that gives them an advantage over their rivals. Indians tend to be very good at serving people. We are service-oriented, he said.
Okay. All right. Are there any words or phrases in this article that you need clarified? Or is everything okay? So I went ahead and added the link so you guys can get download the article if you want. And
Thank you. I already do it.
oh, excellent. Okay, so let's look at some of these questions and see if we can figure out the answer. What is the main reason why some companies want to close down their outsourcing operations in India? Does anybody remember that one?
Because the salary is inflation in India, and
Mm-hmm.
and get nearly the same wages that you have in US, United States.
So you would say the salary is inflating in India,
Yes.
okay? Or in India, other way you could say that is India um, India has high inflation.
High inflation of salary.
Yeah.
High inflation. The main reason
Mhm.
companies to trying to get back
Mhm.
the employees and okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's because they're no longer making the high money because they're having to pay the employees almost as much. So, okay.
Almost the same salary.
Yeah. Or at least only 25% difference. So, not much really. Okay, number 2. Do you guys remember what reverse outsourcing is? So, Adrian, do you remember?
I don't know. No, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Okay. Alicia, do you remember?
If I'm not wrong, the one problem could be that the accent um, of some customer service
Mm-hmm.
it's not easy to understand for Indian people, or the opposite is the same. The opposite is the same. And I imagine, I'm not sure in the article they told us, but the problem is, for example, when you give out the personal data,
Mm-hmm.
like a privacy policy, kind of that.
Okay. Well, it's
Mm.
let's see. That was a nice try. um, it's basically when outsourcing jobs are created in countries in the West for companies based in traditional outsourcing regions such as India. So a reverse outsourcing is when a company in India outsources to a company in the US.
Okay.
Or or in Ireland or something like that. So it's a reverse.
I
Uh,
mixed up. Sorry.
yeah, no worries, no worries. The purpose of this is for people to practice English. So wrong answers are totally fine as long as you're practicing English. So okay, what is the cause of the rising strength of India's currency? Does anybody remember that one? Mehmet, do you remember that one?
Yes, currency means exchange
Yeah.
foreign money for company.
Yeah, currency is like the dollar for
Yes,
the US.
yes, yes.
And, mhm.
It means like that.
Yeah. Do you
Current.
remember what the strength of Indian's currency is?
I think it's about third one paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
No, but sorry, bence I think fourth one. Four.
Mm-hmm.
I am sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea about that.
Okay, does anybody know?
Because I think because the economy grow,
The,
the, the the economy grow.
yeah, the economy is growing, and the growth rate is 9%.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Adrian. Okay, let's look at the next question, if we can remember. Okay. Um, how do Mindtree Consulting intend to reduce their cost? Andre, do you remember that one? Or,
Mm, how do, mm, mind ex- okay, Okay, challenge.
Anybody remember
I
this?
think I want to say that he said that one solution was to reduce overheads by concentrating people and operations.
Mm-hmm.
Something that is easier for larger companies.
Uh-huh. That's exactly the correct answer. Okay. The next question. Why is the Indian outsourcing industry still growing despite wage increases? Anybody know this one?
Maybe because the the salary is still lower
Mm-hmm.
compared than other countries.
Exactly. It's still considerably lower than
Yeah.
in the West. So, and in which sector is there a sharp growth in wages?
In IT sector,
IT sector, I think, yes.
IT sector.
growth.
Yeah, and I guess that's because a lot of a lot of the Indians can actually go over to the big corporations around the world and make a lot more money. So, in which sector are Indian wages much lower than in the West?
Much.
IT.
No, they're the higher. That's where they have a sharp growth in wages. And it's actually the call centers.
Call centers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which human resources problem do Indian call center operations have to deal with? Does anybody remember? And actually, this is a similar problem in Boise, Idaho as well, where I'm from. It's the call centers. We have probably one of the highest level of call centers in the U.S. and in Idaho, because our standard of living is so low. And the big problem is staff turnover. People quit and go on to another call center. So that's the same problem that they have in India.
Okay.
So, what outside threat is the Indian outsourcing industry facing? Does anybody remember that one? And that's international competition,
Yes, yes.
mainly from China. So, but also I think the Philippines is giving them a run for the money with call centers. So, okay, what characteristic of Indian people gives the Indian outsourcing industry a competitive advantage, according to the chief executive of Mindtree's IT services? But this English teacher does not believe it.
According to the article, the Indians tend to be good and serving people.
Yeah, so they're very service oriented by nature. I don't believe that they're any more service oriented than the rest of us. So, but that's my opinion. But okay, all right. So if you guys were in business, if you owned a large corporation and needed to outsource, which country would you probably outsource your services to?
I'd prefer the country where is the lowest amount of wage.
Okay, so you go for the lowest wages. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and how about you, Adrian? What would you do?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, if you were a business owner and I realized you needed to outsource, is there a specific country that you would outsource the business to?
I have two choices. the specific country that I want to I
Mm-hmm.
want to yeah. Maybe in uh, I don't know, but I think Uruguay, my country.
Okay, your
Yes, yes,
country needs
yes,
outsourcing.
yes,
That's great. Good idea. So actually, I've heard good things about Uruguay and the education system down there. So, um,
yes. In my country, there are a lot of in informatic engineering.
yes, and
Yeah.
also, I heard that the British Council has a big project there where many of the schools are training, getting English training
Yes,
this way. So,
yes, yes.
yeah,
Correct.
but yeah. All right. It looks like we're out of time. Um, So I want to thank you all for your participation. I hope you learned some new words and phrases as you continue aiming to improve your English. Um, and as we say in Finnish, hyvä päivä jatkoa, or continue to have a good day.
Thank you very
And
much.
so thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye,
Thank you.
Ollie.
Bye,
Bye.
Oli.
Bye, guys.